Welcome to the Back 9 Six-Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 50 of the Back 9 Six-Pack. My name is Mitch, joined by my esteemed colleague Justin. Cheers to us. Episode 50.
Hell yeah. I'm not drinking tonight, but
It's fair.
I've got home improvement stuff to finish up when I get home.
Yeah, you shouldn't operate any power tools under the influence.
Especially a saw.
I'm not sure if you should operate power tools on your own.
Just
but
in general,
yeah,
probably.
under
It's
the
probably
influence, not
definitely
good.
already a risk. I don't need to add alcohol to it.
That's cool. I'll handle this work for us.
And I had some dental work done today, so I'm not real crazy about...
I also went to the dentist, and just a routine checkup. But
No, mine was much more extensive than that.
Oh, no.
I got a cap put on.
Okay.
Craziest situation. Had an old dentist about 7-8 years ago. Had a cavity filled. According to my new doctor, they didn't fill it properly. This dentist is no longer in business. They did not fill it properly. My tooth died.
Jesus.
So there's obviously there's a nerve in every tooth. Mine just died because they didn't fill it properly. And they're like, did it hurt? Like, ever? And I'm like, no. They're like, that's weird because they didn't fill it properly. It probably should have hurt. It's like, no, it never hurt. And they're like, well, your tooth is dead. We got to take it out. Fast forward 25 minutes later, they're trying to extract the tooth, could not get it out.
Oh, my God.
And now I have to go again on Thursday there for a doctor that's in there that can actually cut my gums and get it out.
Good God. I was not expecting to open the episode this way. It was brutal. So I just not in the mood for anything other than water. Yeah.
Trying to suck down dinner tonight was it's not because my mouth hurts. It's just I'm so petrified of anything going near my mouth right now other than water and I have coffee right now.
I don't know if it's because I did the whole braces thing and had a lot of, all that stuff to get my teeth nice. But for whatever reason, anything to do with teeth is a big, big fear of mine. I've used to have nightmares about losing my teeth or, stuff like that. I've never had a cavity, never had a situation like what you've had here. Praying that continues. But
dude, it's wild. I didn't have cavities for 27 years. And then I got a run of 3 of them. And this was one of them that the guy messed up. Dude, but think the PTSD comes from this lady pulling on my teeth while I'm awake.
Yeah.
No gas, just numbing. It was disaster, just an absolute disaster. And then for her to break the news to me, it's we're not going to be able to get it out today. After she was already pulling on it for 8 minutes. And the whole braces thing, your teeth should be prepared for that. But I my braces came off when I was 12 years old, 13 years old. They pull on your teeth doing that and stuff. Not obviously to get them out, but it was just a disaster. So I'm it's been a rough Monday. I should want a beer. I just can't.
Man,
I need to recover.
That's tough. I'm sorry for you, big dog. I hate to hear that.
Oh, brutal. Brutal.
Well, while we're on the anniversary talk, April 10th is the first anniversary of our first show.
Is that the Lost episode?
No, that's the official actual launch of the podcast. So next Wednesday, Masters Eve, we will be celebrating our first anniversary.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Legitimately crazy, yeah.
Where we started 50 episodes ago.
Yep.
It kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, so whether you are just now joining or you've been along the whole way or you came along halfway through, whenever, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. It's really fun to see just how many people are downloading, listening, interacting with the stuff on social.
A lot of people we know, some people we don't. It's truly rewarding, I would say.
Yeah, it's been a blast. On that note, congratulations to my brother-in-law, Dan.
Yeah.
Picked up a free Patio Beers hat.
Dude.
Tony Finau call.
Landed in the second place. We haven't gotten one of those between us. So.
He was FaceTiming with my son last night for Easter, and I was like, dude, I might just have to have you make the picks.
Just hand him the password,
or at least
username.
Shoot me a message hey, who you like this week, so we can at least weigh the option.
Just give him the password and username. Let him get in every week.
Yeah, let him cook.
We might be retired, although we did make the cut. We'll get to that later on.
We will, but yes, we did make a cut, which was a big improvement. We had the tourniquet cut. We needed the to make
it actually, we regressed in the standings, but
somehow, some way, yeah.
But we needed something. It would have been a lot worse had we not made the cut. So,
all right. Well, also while you're here, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. We really appreciate that.
we skipped something.
No, okay, go ahead.
So I'm officially eating my words on
Yes,
Purdue.
this is what I was going to go into. I kind of rearranged the agenda on the fly here, but I'll give you the floor to.
Yeah, I'm going to eat it. And honestly, I texted Jeff, our buddy Jeff. Look, we texted back and forth. I said, look, I'm wrong. You know, I still admit that they had some rough stretches. They've underperformed their seed. We kind of went back and forth with some stats, and I don't think either of us were wrong. But look, they made the Final Four. They played a lot better than I expected. But going into the Elite Eight game, you ever seen that meme where like the Crips and the Bloods are holding up like they tied the bandanas together, like they were on the same side? That was me and Jeff on Sunday, uniting to make sure Tennessee basketball did not make a Final Four.
Sure.
Look, I hate eating my words, but I hate Tennessee basketball more than eating my words. As a Kentucky fan, I kept saying, I was like, we had people, you know, family, my mom, dad, and stuff over for Easter, and I was like, if Tennessee wins this game, my grandpa's going to roll over in his grave. Just the hatred for Tennessee basketball runs through my veins. There was zero chance I could root for Tennessee, just so I didn't have to like admit I was wrong. So I texted Jeff. I said I was wrong. They played a lot better. They've exceeded my expectations for them. And we united for a win on Sunday.
It's beautiful. People helping people.
But I did tell you, I texted Jeff like before the game started. I was like, look, I'm going for Purdue. There's no way I can root for Tennessee like under any circumstance. And I was like, side note, you should probably bet Tennessee, because I was like, this is going to be the one time I'm like on them betting, and I'm like wanting them to win, and they're going to end up losing. But they ended up pulling it out. So
yeah, that was good. As I don't know, I assume March Madness does it happen during Easter a lot? I can't really, probably not.
Yeah, it just typically how the calendar's landing this year with a leap year and like where it's landing.
Yeah.
It's pushed back a little bit, but typically the Final Four is the Saturday. Like if Easter lands on this week, the Final Four is the day before.
And then you get the championship on Monday night.
The Monday after Easter. Typically that's how it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. We were at my in-laws. We were out back because it was nice enough to be outside. Had a couple TVs out there. You know, you got the Elite Eight on. We had the Reds on the radio, who won in an epic walk-off fashion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like a good sports day on Easter yesterday.
It really was. Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
good finish to the golf tournament was good. I mean,
yeah, it was a good sports day. We had beautiful weather here. I mean, it was kind of crappy in the morning, but it turned out to be a great day. But yeah, so we got the Final Four set.
Yeah, do we have a team? Are we going to come to a consensus here?
We got to go with NC State. I mean, I think that's right. It's the story of the tournament, like I said last week. Who doesn't like DJ Burns? By the way,
dude, Nick texted me and said he's out. He said he hopes Edie just like eats him up. I was like, you're so wrong. No offense to Jeff. Sorry.
No, but like DJ, like he's super likable, and I saw this a bunch yesterday when they were playing Duke. Which, by the way, both games went perfectly for me. Yeah, Duke is gone. Tennessee's gone. Like, couldn't have asked for a better day as far as results. But like I saw a bunch of people talking about that. Like, dude, this guy needs to be an offensive lineman. And I don't disagree. Like, his footwork for a guy that's 6'9", 280 pounds is magical.
Dude, it's not even that. Like, his finesse around the hoop.
Yeah.
Like, it's truly amazing when you see people that, like, have that kind of size that are, like, also,
just
like,
have, like, the
agile and finesse and, you know, like that. It's, like, blows my mind when I watch him play.
I know. No,
it's crazy.
I think the story, and it's like, you know, and then I saw today that a bunch of people went to Jim Valvano's grave last night and put stuff by because the last time they made the Final Four was with him.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can root against that either. Like, you know, they're just America's team at this point. They've won 12 games in 17 days to make it this far, which is just Honestly, some of the I know UConn did it back in 14. They won like 11 games in 18 days or something to make the Final Four. This is slightly smaller window and just one extra game, but it's just amazing the run they're on.
And they're probably favored against Oakland, but they were dogs in every other game, right?
Yeah,
I'd imagine so.
Yeah,
at least by seed.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I think it's going to be a good Final Four. I don't know who's going to stop UConn. Maybe that's Purdue's job if they beat NC State. But I mean, there's every 11 seed that's made the Final Four has never made the championship game. So it'd be a first if they do it.
Yeah, hopefully it should be pretty good games. I mean, obviously Bama UConn feels like pretty contrasting styles in some ways. I mean, UConn doesn't really have a style; they kind of can play.
They can play
however,
any kind of game, yeah.
But Bama's very clearly.
You blink your eyes, you might miss a shot.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Purdue NC State, I think probably would be more of like a half court game.
Oh yeah, they both play through their centers. Like it's going to be maybe a grind them out game, which I'm not a big fan of. Like,
me either. I just hope foul trouble doesn't write a story in that one. Either way, you want to have the guys on the floor.
Oh,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
But we talked about it. Like Sunday was a great sports day, but like in Cincinnati, Thursday it might have been an elite sports day.
Yeah.
Sweets, we had opening day, which for anybody that's not in Cincinnati, it's a holiday. There were very few people I knew that were actually working on Thursday.
Yep. This is the first time in the last 3 years that I chose to work from home just to avoid the parking fees, some of the traffic, because I knew I wasn't going to the game. So
it was insane down there.
Yeah, the drone shots were incredible, just all along the banks and even up into downtown. You could just see the people flocking in. So that was it was awesome.
And then you go straight into the Sweet 16, like an hour after the game was over.
Yeah,
it was just fantastic. They shout out to Teresa, our Uber driver, who took us down through Uber, gave us her card, took us back outside of Uber, so we didn't have to pay $195 to get back to where we were going.
Damn, massive shout out.
And she picked us up right outside the stadium. Just top-notch private driver.
That's official Uber driver of the back nine six
pack. She might be. She very well might be.
Jeez, that's awesome. Yeah, we have, going from all of that, rolling right in, we'll just roll into it. I think you played some golf on Friday. Yep. I got some golf in on Saturday. I mean, for me, it was the first round of the year, which is, when you do that, there's nothing but upside within a first round of a year, because you can blame anything that goes poorly just on rust,
Zero
whatever.
Expectations.
No expectations, keep them low so you can jump over that fence. Yeah, and the score wasn't, I shot 85, wasn't ideal, but there was so much good within it that I'm just super, super excited to play again and find ways to practice. So
it's a good positive outlook on a round of golf.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it would have been if I didn't make the putts that I made. I think
I was wondering how well you putted after I read through some text today.
I think I had 30 with one 3-putt, which the 3-putt was like just a hellacious pin placement on 7 that got me on white. But yeah, it was. I only missed one putt probably inside of like 8 feet. Like I just made a lot of. Whether it was for a bogey or a par, like a lot of saving, just shot savers, really. I didn't lose a ball. I took penalty strokes, but I played the same golf ball the whole round, which helps.
Can't hate that either.
Driver was loose, but like once it was a classic. I spent the first like 3 holes just like I even chunked driver on 2. And shout out to Ryan, it's like him and I do this. It happens every year. One of the early rounds, he'll take in a few holes, just watch what I'm doing or whatever, and then he'll come to me like, dude, like, this is happening or do this or whatever. And it gets me right. Apparently, I was lining up and like the ball was almost outside of my front foot.
Yeah, it's not great.
But it literally I was like, dude, there's no way. Like I'm looking at it, like that's in the middle of my stance. And then I like put it back to where I thought it was back, and he's like, yeah, that's like just in front of middle. I'm like, you're fucking no way. You're lying.
As someone that is a habitual bad setting up just bad at setting up to the golf ball, particularly the position the ball is in my stance, I feel your pain on that.
Yeah, I kept saying like, I have no idea where the bottom of my swing is, and I did know where it was, but I just didn't line up properly, apparently, was what the real issue was. My body was trying to do stuff that I was just not set up to do. But once we got past that, it was good. The wind picked up like crazy in the afternoon.
I just being out and about, it got pretty windy.
So, look, I got new irons. I've talked about that several times on the show. I hit some shots and felt some things in those shots that I've never felt with the other irons. It was wild. Like there were several times where I was like, all right, we're into the wind or whatever. Like I'm trying to play like I'm hitting this shot and then to pull it off. That's the best feeling in golf, by the way. When you're like, I'm going to do this.
Oh yeah. Like I'm going to hit a draw, aim 10 yards right of this, hit a draw and it's going to be. Yeah.
Like on set where I 3-putted on 7, I had like 135 in. I had to knock down an 8-iron. And I was like, all right, I'm going to hit this knockdown, draw 8 into this, and just like, boom, perfect pin high left. Now the putting, whatever. But I hit the shot and I was like, holy shit. Also, the wind was a problem for trying to figure out distances because I was either into it or down like all day long.
Yeah, there's not many side. Just knowing where the wind was coming from, you probably weren't like a crosswind very often.
No. So like go for me, the one I hit a ball out of bounds off the tee on 2 white. I just blocked it. But the other 2 times where I took a double and a triple were just like missed clubs because I didn't know what to hit yet.
No idea.
But I think I can say at a minimum it's a club and a half difference. It might be 2 though. Probably is 2.
It's not bad. Not a bad problem to have.
No, and like I said, they just feel awesome. And there was twice where I felt like I hit a clunker. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, it was going to be bad. But it was like, no, it's like
12 yards shorter, 10 yards shorter.
Yeah, not even that. Like, it was like, oh, like, I can't believe that actually got like that far. So.
Can't beat that.
Just time to dial it in. But I'm thoroughly, thoroughly excited after that round.
Well, my Friday was miserable.
You should have led with yours then. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to forget about it. So, Friday group I play with a lot. They play for, usually there's, we usually have 8 to 12. There's a big $40 per person game where it's like a blind draw, 2-man, all net, 1 best ball from a blind draw. There's closest to the pin, then you do skins out of that pot too. Well, then the group that I play in this game, they like to play $10 skins within the group. A $10 666. If you don't know what that is, you change partners every 6 holes. And they're automatic 1 down. So you lose a hole, new bet is going on. So
oh god.
Like you can lose up to 6, with how we play, you can lose $60 in a match. But anyway, so that we played that, and then we do $10 closest to the pins within the group. I wasn't lighting it up out of the, I was even through 6 holes. Okay. Between the skins that were out and our 666 match, through 6 holes, I was down $110.
Yeah. What, how many shots do you give back in this game? Or do they play off you?
They let me play to a 0 and they do not play off of me. They get their regular shots. I play as a 0.
So you get a free 2 shots or 3 shots, whatever it is. Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah.
That's nice.
I didn't play bad. I was even through 6 and I was down $110. My mind was in a blender. I proceeded to go double, bogey, double. Just because I couldn't get over the fact that I'm not playing bad.
Yeah.
Me and my partner were net 2 under in our match and we lost six different ways. So we lost the max amount of money.
Yeah, that's tough.
But then so we make the turn. I was like, okay, I need to figure this out or we're going to lose even more money. So I birdie 10, which actually was 1 red for us. Made like a 30-foot putt. Pretty good birdie. And then I proceeded to 8 bars out. And lost another $100. It was a brutal, brutal day. We had a 17 handicap, shoot 80.
That'll do it.
And I want to say he ended up winning like over $300 something between our main game and the game in our group. It was just me and another guy in our group just got just utterly gutted for money. But I shot 42 on the front after starting out even through 6 or 41, excuse me. Shot 1 under on the back. 1 birdie, 8 pars. So I can't really complain. It was just a terrible day for.
You just got net birdied to death
for my wallet. So he had 8 net birdies because he gets 17 shots. He had 8 net birdies. He back-to-back gross birdied 16 and 17.
Oh.
One was a net eagle. One was not. It was actually one was on the hole he didn't get a shot on.
Yeah.
But it was just. But I didn't play bad. I just got put in the blender. It took me 3 holes to get out of it, and then, I didn't play like particularly great.
No.
But I can't really complain about anything other than, like, I make that 30-foot birdie putt, but I had, like, many of other chances on the front and the back from, like, inside 12 feet and didn't make a single one of them. Yeah. So that was a little bit frustrating, but.
I was going to ask, was it more putting related or were you not hitting it great?
The whole 3-hole stretch was, like, hit it into a hazard, really wild iron shot, hit it in the hazard. And then the next hole was like I bogeyed and I was, I hit it. I thought I hit a perfect shot. Thought it was into the wind. I apparently kept it below the tree line because it fucking flew directly over the pin, short-sided, make bogey. Then the next hole just clunked it around. And then after that, like I said, those were the only times I hit the ball bad. And then after that, I hit the ball fine. But something just like didn't feel right. Have you ever like? It's not like you're hitting the ball bad,
yes.
But like
yes.
Even when you hit good shots, you're like, that just didn't feel good. Like I hit the center of the club face. It went where I wanted it to go, but like it felt like you had to put so much effort into it.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly how everything felt.
That's pretty much how all of last year felt to me. So I get it. I gotta tell this story. I hate to do this to him, but it's too funny not to. So on 7 white, like we've talked about that hole before. It's a short par 4, a little bit of an uphill. The green is like massively sloped back to front, and there's a pretty significant drop off in the front third of the green. And we were dead into the wind, so everything's
and
coming back that way.
That green just becomes exponentially faster too.
Yeah, so I mentioned I had 15 feet pin high, almost made the putt, and then it ended up rolling like all the way to the front of the green and just stopped because of an aeration hole, or else it would have been 30 yards down the. So. That's what we're dealing with here. Ryan hit his drive left, had to punch up towards the green, and ends up going through. So he's on the back of the green. Has to hit like, an all-world flop shot to even consider.
Maybe. And it's probably still not even going to...
Yeah, either way, he's probably ending up on the front, front of the green at best. He shanked the flop shot. Like, I've never seen it.
He did that last time we played with him. So that's his second one this year, by the way.
90 degrees right, almost hit his putter, like just. And I was like, everyone else is just kind of like trying not to look at him, but I was trying. Thankfully, he was laughing, so it gave me permission to laugh because I was prepared to. And then so he ends up hitting it over the green, hits it back up. Long story short, he ends up taking an 8 after being greenside in 2. So yeah, that's what that hole was taking some souls on that day. I imagine it was.
And then there was a junior tournament out there after you guys got done. I mean that pin where you told me it was like front center. Front is hard on that. Any part of the front of that green is hard because you don't want to be above the hole.
Right. You don't even want to be even with the hole, as I learned.
Yeah. No. Like I don't know if I ever told you this. So someone was telling me a story.
I think you told this last week on the pod, but yeah.
There was a guy who won like nine club championships. If the pin was in the front, he'd hit it like 10 feet short of the green.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I can see why, because there's
the
there's
only
nothing
way to
I could
keep
do.
the ball under the hole.
I literally would, if I don't make it, it's going there. Or my option is to play way up, and it's not going to come down enough, and then I'm going to have that coming down the hill.
You're going to have like a 3 or 4 footer coming down the hill.
Yeah, so like you just have to be below that hole on the front.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might honestly employ the strategy.
It's not a bad strategy.
I think it maybe takes birdie away, but it leaves you with a good par chance.
No, 100%.
Compared to your other options, which are like holding on to dear life for par.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, excited to get back out there. It was awesome just to just to be out there again. I told Susie when I got home, I was like, there were some holes where I was just like, because we walked, I was just like looking up and I'm just like listening to birds chirp, the wind blowing through the trees,
Great.
like just being outside and walking again was fantastic.
Like out
on the course, the sounds of golf.
Seasons, yeah. We talked about seasons. I mean, it's perfect time right now. Birds are coming back.
Yeah,
they're done with winter in Florida.
They're done with Florida. Yeah.
But no, it's spring golf is fun just because it's like, especially now, like now that we're in April, the grass it's not dead from winter anymore. It's starting to grow. Like it's just a good feeling.
Yeah, I think I sent you guys a snap on Friday night. We got home, took the boys up to Legoland in Columbus. We came home and we were debating like, do we cut the grass? Do we whatever? Decided to cut the grass. So I got home, cut the grass. Immediately after, like the weather turned perfect. It was like 70 degrees and sunny that evening. Grabbed a Miller Lite out of the fridge. Sat there, loaded my clubs up, for my morning tea time on Saturday. I was like, man, this is peak dad. I've achieved peak dad. The only thing I need to do, I need to like go smoke some meats or something, I think was the next option.
Or at least grill.
Yeah, so we did grill, so that was, perfect.
You filled the barometer up.
Check mark, yeah. All right, I left the Valspar on here, but we are actually going to talk about the Texas Children's Houston Open. It's a lot of...
Which was a fall event, right? That's been moved,
yes.
Correct?
So this event used to be the week before the Masters every year, before they moved to the fall a few years back, and now it's back 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Different course, though. So I didn't realize all this going into it. I've clearly not been paying attention to this event, but Memorial Park is a Muni, co-designed by Brooks Koepka. I forget
really?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Doak was like the main architect with some Brooks influence apparently. I was pretty impressed with like how well the scoring held up on a Muni and
I mean
the course looks great.
The leaders going into Sunday were 9 under?
Yeah. The winner was at 12.
See, that to me is
or
like
13, sorry. 13.
That's 3 under per round. That's like where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it shouldn't be. I hate when he gets to like 20, 24. It's just not. Like I know that can be exciting golf, but like I want to see some challenge, right? Like
it's not even exciting for me. Sorry to interrupt you, but like when it's just the race to 25 under, you lose complete context to the entire course.
Yeah.
But like when you can sit here and you watch a tournament over a weekend, and you're like, oh, this hole is like a hole that's gotten some guys. You know what I mean? Like they have to get through certain holes. It's not just like birdie, 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 birdie all the time. So I that's way more interesting. We've talked about that before. Like the sweet spot for scoring, like we like that like 6 to 14 or whatever.
It's perfect. It's absolutely. And I just hate when courses get easy and they're like, well, the guy that was third off on Sunday shot 13 under. Like you're like,
yeah, somebody shooting 60 and is ending up T3 or whatever.
Yeah, it's like dude, 12 under. Like what are we doing? And then then the leaders get out there and it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, he's 5 under through 7. Like, must be playing easy today. Or just in general, it's just too easy of a course. But I enjoyed where the totals were at.
Yeah. Tony Finau, I think, tied or set the course record at 62 on Friday. So, that's low, obviously, but, like, he ended up tied for second, didn't win the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, you didn't just have, like, a series of... Even like LACC last year, we had 2 guys in the first day. Ricky and Xander
62.
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a different story. But Steven Yeager won, our guy.
We're always early.
Yeah.
That just proves the point. We're always a little early on people.
And again, I think he was probably like 30, 40 to 1 or something.
Yeah.
He was down in the top, part of the betting odds to start the week, but not the top winning.
It's cool to see him win, though, because, he was a cut machine, but I would imagine being someone like him that's making all these cuts, and you're like, God, dude, like, when is it going to happen? Like, when am I going to get my breakthrough win? And he finally did it.
And he was one of these guys that, like, beat up the Korn Ferry Tour and then would come up and just, like, it always seemed kind of like a matter of, when, not if, but it seemed like it was taking longer than some people thought.
For sure.
Himself included, I'm sure. But, yeah, his maiden PGA Tour win, gets himself into the Masters in 2 weeks. Can't beat it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Also, didn't realize he was a
super happy.
dad, so that was,
Yeah, we love dads
we
winning.
love the dad stories. Yeah.
The dads winning is what we're here for.
We do have to mention just, Scotty Scheffler again, another top 5, tie for second. Friday night, group chat blows up with the 3-putt from, what was that? 6 feet?
5 feet, yeah.
I think it was 5 feet 9 inches on the first putt. And then he missed a 2-footer coming back.
Dude, that was brutal. And then it broke his under par streak.
Yeah, that he ended up shooting even par.
If there couldn't have been a better way for Scotty Scheffler to break the under par streak than to do that from 5 feet.
Yeah, that was tough. And then obviously he's got a shot to force a playoff. Hits it tight to about 6 feet on 18 on Sunday, and just
didn't even hit the hole.
It was one of those weird it was a left to righter. He kind of just a little
tuggy.
Yeah, you just try to force it on the line, and you don't hit it hard enough either. So just tough. I mean, you can't expect him to make all of them, but did feel like this was one he kind of gave away, and not the way you probably want to go into the Masters if you're him. Feeling like your putting was back.
No, but I mean, dude, you're gonna win 3 tournaments in a row, and then try to go for your 4th one in a row at the Masters. It probably bodes pretty well for him to not win this tournament.
Yeah, I think I'd rather win than not win the way that he did. Just for him specifically.
If he came in 20th or something, it's okay, he still played good, but it's not good enough.
To have
to miss a makeable putt to force a playoff, I could understand.
And to have the the missed 2-footer on the Friday too, to end the under par streak that. It's just scar tissue you don't want to have if you're him, especially if you think you've fixed it. Yeah. He didn't putt bad for the week either.
He didn't. Yeah. No, I looked it up. I was like, was this a whole week thing? And it's
no.
All right, it seems like a very isolated incident.
I think it just shows that maybe that is still in him.
Just not as much. Yeah. Yeah.
You ready for Back 9 6-pack award? This is one I feel bad about giving, but it needed to be given. Have you ever heard of Ryan McCormick?
I have.
I had not heard of him before.
I know I've seen his name mentioned on Monday Qualifier guy on Twitter. And
you probably have, because I think he's an early 30s guy. He's been grinding, trying to get out here for a while.
Yeah.
He finally got his card at the end of last season on the Corn Ferry Tour. However, Mr. McCormick shoots 71 on day 1. We're fine.
Okay.
We're hanging in there. 2 bogeys, 1 birdie. He did not shoot 71 on Friday, however. Our guy he went for the cycle. We had a bogey, we had a double bogey, we had a triple bogey, and we had a quadruple bogey.
Holy crap. That's not a way to play golf.
No. So did
he break 80? I haven't seen his scorecard.
He did not break 80.
Oh, no. Par 70, too?
Yeah, so...
Par 70 as well, I should say, not par 72.
Correct. Good clarification there. He tripled his first hole. I didn't look at any of the shot charts on these, so unfortunately I can't give any context. But we take a 7 right off the bat, a bogey on 4, a bogey on 6. He birdies 8, which is a par 5, to shoot 39 on the front.
Not the end of the world.
No, but as we mentioned before, got to get the Back 9 6-pack. This is a massive... You need a momentum flip. Didn't do it. Tries to string together a few pars, but then we get to 13 and we go bogey, bogey, quad. Birdie's another par 5 on 16, but on 18, that's where he makes the double. Shoot a 42 on the back for an 81 on a par 70.
Yikes.
So yeah.
Yikes.
Look, happy for Ryan that he's out here doing it. But they're just. I tried to find some other candidates. I tried to find some storylines, and I just couldn't beat that.
You hit for the cycle, you're gonna get. You got to get it.
Absolutely had to. So Ryan McCormick. Hopefully, the only time we have to give him this award.
Let's make this a first and a last.
Yeah. Hey, let's hope he gets the bump. I don't know if he's playing Valero, but somewhere down the road, let's watch out for Mr. McCormick.
Probably should bet him next week if he's in the field.
You should. We kinged Peter Malnati, so we're looking for somebody else now.
Oh, by the way, real quick on the Back 9 6-pack, did you see the video Gino posted?
With the grilled cheese in his pocket?
They got a turn grilled cheese and put it in his caddy bib.
I mean, does that mean
And then
was
I think
Joel
he shot
hungover?
like 31 on the back.
The only time you're getting a grilled cheese on a golf, like you gotta be needing like some grease, or you're soaking something up with that.
Sounds like maybe a few too many drinks the night before.
Too many claws. It
Probably.
didn't work like it did at the qualifier.
I just thought that video was hilarious, and I think he shot like 31 on the back or something. That they're shooting 39 or 40 on the front.
Yeah,
so,
love to see that for Joel and Gino always. All right, we're on to Valero Texas Open. This is the week before the Masters. Kind of like the Corey Connors used to be the Charlie Hoffman Open. Still, I think this is actually, I saw this is the third oldest tournament on tour.
that's what I thought. It's been going for a while.
Sorry about that crack there. It's been at this course since 2010, so we've got quite a bit of built up history here. Like I mentioned, Corey Connors won here twice. I think Charlie Hoffman's only won once, but he has come in second like three other times or something.
Some really good finishes here.
Everything I remember about this course is kind of like a bomber's track. I didn't do a ton of research, but I have my pick. We also kind of skipped past. Before we get into the picks, let's go back. Texas Children's Open, we mentioned we took Sahith, T28.
Yep.
Banked a 65K, which we needed, but like you mentioned, we fell back in the standings actually to almost 4,000th place.
Yeah.
We got like 1.3 mil in the bank. The leader is at 11.7, and we are 4.9 million outside the money. We got to start hitting winners.
Got to.
It's time. Some big events coming up.
Yeah, this is a test run for the This is our last test run before the Masters.
Yeah. Do you have any initial thoughts?
You're going to hate it.
God damn it.
Brian Harman.
Well, look, I don't hate it, but I don't like him for the course. Best finish here is a T16.
But I don't think anything necessarily has to be like the way he putts the ball. Like it doesn't have to be a perfect course out for him. That's why he's kind of higher in the odds. Like decent form, seems he just seems to always putt the ball well, which just kind of keeps him in it. Period. Like doesn't matter if it's a good course setup or anything like that. Like I don't think TPC sets up well for him.
No.
But he had a chance on Sunday.
I think, did he miss the cut at Valspar after that? That or it wasn't a good finish, one of the two.
It wasn't a good finish. I think he made the cut, though.
Okay. I'm prepared to send it. I want to go to the top of the board.
Okay.
I want to take Ludwig.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yes.
I'm good with that. He was, if I went 2 or 3 deep, he was going to be one of those.
He's going to be playing his first major at the Masters. So I don't feel like we need to save him for any majors or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just yet. Played obviously at Texas Tech, so he's familiar with windy Texas courses, Texas grass. Obviously a phenomenal driver of the golf ball. I just think he's in good form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's second favorite on the odds board. I like it. I'm good with that. I can live with that.
Good. Ludwig Aberg. Our one and done pick this week in the race for the Mayo Cup. Speaking of the Masters.
Dude, the snaps this weekend were...
Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
I was waiting for this segment.
Shit. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little Masters look ahead, but first...
Holy crap. So I, wake up... So I... Just through correspondence and stuff like that, and, I knew they were, taking a trip early to go to Augusta.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be this weekend.
They being Grayson Murray and Jay Green.
And Jay, who's been on the show. He was on a family vacation in Phoenix last week, and then he flew to Augusta. They were there, I believe, Friday, Saturday, and then they left Sunday afternoon. I wake up on Saturday, and I'm like, oh, Jay sent me a snap. At 9 o'clock in the morning, and he's on Amen Corner. He's on 12, walking from 12 across the bridge to 12 green. And I was like, dude, that is a hell of a way to wake up on a Saturday. I was like, and I think I just sent back to him heaven. That's all I sent back.
Yeah.
And then, he was sending pictures from the range and stuff like that. But that was, they were out there practicing. I think some other guys went out there that didn't play this week that are planning on playing, or last week that are planning on playing this week. So they wanted to get out there, do a little scouting, especially Grayson's never played in the Masters.
Right.
So, but that was a great way to wake up on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm going to have to dig into the numbers a little bit more just to see, but I'm going to look at some Grayson stuff for the Masters, I think. Depending on how he plays. I think he's playing Valero this week.
He
so,
is. Yep.
Even though he's a debutant, traditionally not great at the Masters, obviously. I just think, if he's got the driver going,
never know.
He should have plenty of opportunities at Augusta.
Sure.
So,
yep. Yeah, but then Jay had a hell of a merch haul.
Oh, you have to.
And it wasn't like, I think he had like one Masters thing, and the rest of it was like Augusta National Golf Club stuff.
That's a flex.
That is a huge, dude, the belt. I sent him back like, dude, that belt is fucking sick. Like, it's just,
oh man,
it was the sickest belt. Yeah, he had like one Masters hat, and then the rest of it was Augusta National stuff. So
we should see if we can get him. We can get a pin out of or a flag out of him.
We might need to.
Let's put the ask him. We'll have Grayson sign it or whatever. It could be a good piece of memorabilia for whenever we we open up our content house
for sure. Yeah. But yeah, so Augusta, like, it's just like Muirfield, Jack's place. Like, they have tournament stuff, and they have club stuff.
The club stuff, yeah.
And I remember when I played Muirfield, they're like, oh, and like they do, like I walk into the pro shop when I'm playing it, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, none of the like memorial stuff's on it, and they're like, oh no, this is club gear. Like, when you come in here for the tournament, you get memorial stuff. And I was like, load it up. Like,
yeah.
But I'm like, it's just, everything about Muirfield, just like Augusta. Augusta does the same thing. You get Masters stuff for the Masters tournament.
Sure.
Augusta National Golf Club stuff every other time. Just absolute flex.
Man.
So, but anyway, we're looking forward to the Masters. I don't know I've got some bets out there so far.
Yeah, I've rehashed mine, I think, last week.
Yeah.
We've got try to snag some early numbers on some guys playing well. Hideki, your guy, Brian Harmon. I grabbed Sahith just because, got to root for my guy.
Yeah, I finally laid down on Brooks.
Okay, I was going to ask you. That's, looking at the board, the 20-1 still there.
I wanted to lay down on him. I think Liv plays this week.
Yeah, they play at Doral.
I did not want to get it after. Like, if he wins this week, it's going to be like 12-1 or 13. I didn't want to do that. I'm like, all right, it's either now or never.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to grab it while I can. Because if he does win this week, it's going to drop.
I think I'm with you. I think I'm going to get it.
Or if he even comes in like a top 3, like, it's going to drop.
I think if he starts playing well on Friday, they're going to drop it. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
one of
so
those
I grabbed
things.
it at 20-1. I sprinkled a little on Max just because it just seems like such a good fit for him. And I'm just... maybe it's just like wishful thinking, like trying to bet something into reality. So I sprinkled a little on him this weekend. I'm going to keep looking at the board.
Max is, 40-1 still. I don't mind that.
Yeah, and start of the year, I think when they first came out, he was probably like 28, maybe 30-1. So his odds have gone up. I liked him at that number. 40-1 for a guy that we know has the talent to win that tournament. It's just a matter of putting it together.
Right.
So I sprinkled a couple this weekend.
Yeah, Scotty's still plus 400. That Rory number is going to be interesting to see. How he plays this week is going to define that.
Yeah.
Because he's plus 1,000. So,
which a lot of people liked him at the Valero this weekend because he's habitual winning before the week before a major.
Yeah.
Did it last year at the Scottish. I think he did it.
He did it at the Canadian Open before the U.S. Open once.
Yeah.
Probably been other times.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I think he's done it one other. So he's done it like 3 times. So
yeah. There's not much. The Brooks number stands out to me in that range. A lot of these guys that are kind of in that. I mean, Xander's been playing well, but like, I might just. He feels like a top 5 play. Just, I don't know. But everyone else kind of in this top half of the. Or sorry, like the top, 25-1 and under. Nobody's like
no one's
standing
like,
out.
oh yeah, like I'll for those crappy odds, I'll take it. Like,
yeah, it's like Spieth at 20-1, Hovland at 20-1, JT 25-1. Like Cantlay's been kind of in nowhere's land at 25-1. There's just not much to really like outside of that. Rahm's plus 1,200, and Scotty obviously is what he is, but I don't mind taking some, like you said, taking some shots on, a guy like Max, at that 40 to 1 price.
We know Brooks plays well for the most part at the Masters.
Yeah.
And he's just a major guy. So it's kind of, seeing him at 40 to 1, it's kind of like you don't feel like you're throwing money away at that. And those are, compared to how the odds have been this year for guys that legitimately have shots at winning, even though we've had a lot of long shots win, 40 to 1's a delicious odds for a guy that's a 5-time major winner. Probably should have won last year if Rahm didn't kick it into another gear, and then he kind of took a step back on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can't sprinkle a little on him.
And then if you go down the board a bit, this is where you kind of get into okay, can these guys just show up and have it or not? Because there's some, Patrick Reed is 80 to 1, Justin Rose 80 to 1. Those are guys that obviously they have good history here. Maybe not playing the best, but who knows? Something about this course, I think course history matters here more than most, right?
Jesus, Phil came in third place last year?
Yeah, he came in second place
or second place. And he's in his 50s. It genuinely does matter. How you play this course is over. The course of how many times you've actually played it. It does matter. This is one of the few tournaments where you can really, really bank on course history.
Yeah, definitely. There's no Tiger 130 to 1. There's no chance. I don't think, but
it might not kill to put a couple dollars on it. I don't know.
I think this is interesting where you can get in. It's a shorter field. Course history matters so much. You can look at some top 20s and top 40 things like that for some of these longer shot guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't even see what Phil's odds were. Jeez, but for him coming in second place last year,
probably definitely better than Tiger's, I would imagine.
I would think so.
You would hope.
I don't even know if I see his name, to be honest with you. Just scanning, but yeah. I want to look into. I might look into Nick Taylor a little more. There's a big trend with
this year.
Guys that have won already before the Masters, and then just have a certain number of top tens or whatever. Matthew Pavon is not someone I would expect to win the Masters, but he's 180 to 1. Might have some good top 20 odds as a debutant.
Yeah, I knew a lot of guys that took Phil last year, top 20, and it was I think it was plus 1,000 maybe.
I just
top
found
20, which is just crazy odd. 10 to 1 for a top 20 is insane.
Just found Phil. He's 150 to 1. So he has longer odds than Tiger. That's probably the Tiger tax, in the betting market.
Yeah.
But
because people are throwing money on him knowing damn well it's probably getting thrown into the fire,
Right.
But it does lower his odds,
they're guys that obviously we had a lot of long shot winners this year that are way down here, but are playing well. Eric Van Rooyen, 200 to 1.
And those are top. Taking a top 20 bet on him is not stretching it.
Yeah,
right?
It's a 90-man field.
Yeah.
Austin Eckert 180 to 1. The Grayson are 250 to 1. They're real guys that are down the board that I think are. It would be interesting to see what their odds are in some other markets.
For sure.
Top finish markets.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Some good first round leader bets, too, probably.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's time.
Take it to the patio.
Patio beer season is officially thriving right now.
Yeah.
We're
had a couple yesterday, had a couple on Saturday, a couple on Friday.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Very, very back.
Just peak season, not too hot. Get that 70, get down to 60, low 60s in the night. Pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to let you lead off.
My question is inspired by the bar question from Gunth a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
A little different though. So if you could only take vacation to one place, and you can every year you can go twice a year or whatever, but you can only go to one place the rest of your life, what would that place be?
Wow. That is a great question.
Within reason, right? You can't be well, I'm going to go to Bali every year. Have you even been to Bali? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's got to be somewhere you've been.
Okay.
experienced.
Look,
Yeah,
the problem is I got to decide on what's the vibe, I think is the real question to answer. Because there's a part of me that loves to just chill on the beach and, chug beers all day and get in the ocean, and just lounge. There's a part of me that wants to go out in the mountains and just get lost in the woods for, a full day.
Yeah.
There's golf trips. Tuscany is standing out in my mind right now, to be honest with you. Just winding my way through the countryside of Italy is pretty good. It's tough. Places I've been, though, if that's a qualifier on it, I do think, like I said, Tuscany is way up there.
Could you do that every year for the rest of your life?
Hell yeah, I could do that every year.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's not that bad of a flight. It's so chill. Like, Europe is just so much chiller than America is.
But, and so, how, like, most Europeans they talk about Americans are not well traveled. But I think he was, I want to say he was like Croatian or something, or Eastern European. And he did a video. He goes, "You want to know why they're not well traveled? Because there's so many places to see in America. They don't really have to go outside to, like, you want mountains? Go to Montana.
Yeah,
you want the beach? You can go multiple different areas, right? You want to, and he broke it down. He goes, every city/state feels like a new country, and he's not wrong by that.
Yeah, no,
I just wanted to throw that in there. But I agree. I've never been to Europe, but I've heard it's like way more low key than like our vacation spots. Like, like you think of like a Myrtle Beach, right? It's like, dude, it's like someone that invests in tourism just threw up all over the place.
Yeah,
right?
Whatever the answer is, it's definitely the opposite of that. Like, I do not want the tourist trap, the little shops on the boardwalk. No, just take that all away.
For sure. Yeah.
Do you have a clear answer? Because
I 100% do. Yeah.
Key West. No.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be it.
So this is why. I don't dislike the beach, but I don't love it. Like, you got fucking sand all over. Like, it's just a lot. Like, you get sand all over. Like, I don't like swimming in the ocean. I'll love going down to the beach and drinking a beer. Like, I'll gladly get my feet sandy and fucking sand everywhere to go down and drink a beer at the beach. Key West is not that. Like, they only have one beach, and it's like a public beach. I think they actually have two, but there's not a lot of beach fronts. But I love the vibe of a good beach town. That's not touristy, right?
Yeah.
They do have some bars and stuff that are well known, and we can go through all that. But it's not like they have a Fat Tuesdays sitting there. They're locally small owned restaurant and bars. And I think I've said this before, but the vibes you can if depending on what vibe you want. If you want party beach town, you go to the north end of Duval Street.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hey, I want wine and a nice dinner and maybe a wine bar or a dessert bar or something like that. You can go down to the south end of Duval and get that. And it's not a party scene. So you can get different vibes. And I'm telling you, I've never gone a place in my entire life for the first time and left there and been I have to move here. And when I went to Key West for the first time, I was I don't know how I'm going to get to this point, but I'm moving here at some point.
Yeah.
In my life, or at least having a winter house down here.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's very, and I don't know if you've been to Key West, but it's just the houses. It's very southern folk feel to it. Outside of the main strand of bars and restaurants and stuff. The houses have history. There's a lot of for being a small island, it's got a lot of history. It was clear cut. I thought about, we've gone to some places and with family and stuff like that. There were a couple different places that I was oh, maybe this would be good, but no, Key West is Yeah, you can take a boat out. Like, I love boating. Like, I could, like, that's my thing, right? I'll
Yeah.
swim in an ocean, like, out on a sandbar, but, like, I don't know. There's something about, like, going, like, from, like, walking over the beach and, like, getting in the ocean just not appealing to me. So, and the boating's phenomenal down in Key West. So,
Yeah.
that's my clear-cut answer.
I knew that was going to be your answer. I've not been, so I can't speak to that, but I trust you on this one. The more I sit here and think about it and realizing this was a question about vacation, not just like I'm not spending forever here, right? I don't think golf matters to me then at that point.
No, because, like, I feel like golf trips, I've taken golf trips to, like, the same places over and over, and while they're fun, like, after a certain point, you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of want to, like, there's so much other golf trips you can do. Kind of want to see something different.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't want to pigeonhole myself into, like, taking one golf trip for the rest of my life.
I think that's the problem I'm having with the question is, like, I'm trying to, like, what's the thing or the activity or the vibe or whatever that I can consistently do all the time? Because I'm trying to think of a place where I could, like, have it all, just in case I want it all.
See, that's why I picked Key West, because I feel like I could have it all.
Right. That's,
like,
yeah.
I'm a big brunch guy. Like, fucking love brunch. Like, you could eat at a brunch. You could go down there for 3 weeks and eat at a different brunch place every day.
Yeah.
Like, literally every day. You can eat at a different restaurant every day. Like I said about the different vibes of the north side and the south side of, Duval Street. Like, if you're not in the mood to party one week, like, you can just hang out down, in the wine bars and go get dessert at a dessert. They have, like, dessert bars down there, a couple of them that are really good. Like, you can do that.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling frisky one night and you're like, let's go drink our faces off, like, you can do that too. So,
yeah, I think I'm weighing two things right now. I mentioned it before. We did Rocky Mountain National Park and we stayed in Boulder a few years back. And, like, Boulder, just, like, as a town, was, like, I fucking loved it. So I would consider that again. But then you're kind of, like, stuck in okay, we're going to be doing, like, the mountains or whatever, like, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I
don't
love
mind
that.
hiking. Yeah, I like hiking.
But when I think about it more, we took the kids, so I didn't get Susie was pregnant, or we took the kid, and then Susie was pregnant with the other one during this. But we went to visit my brother and sister-in-law and their kids, and when they lived in Reno, when he was coaching at Nevada, sorry. But we went and did Tahoe one of the days.
Which I've
there.
heard is phenomenal.
I gotta say, I think I might take Tahoe because there's amazing hikes. If depending on the time of year you go there, like there's boating, there's skiing, you can golf
pretty
in
much
the area.
any kind of sport.
You're in Nevada. You could go down to Reno, and you can go gamble. You can do whatever. It's easy to pop into California. You want to go out to California and do some like that side of Tahoe or whatever. I think that could be a pretty prime spot with a lot of options.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of where my head's at with that.
I've never been to Tahoe, but I've heard.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And
yeah.
Like I said, you got the hiking. If you ski, you can ski. There's golf in the area. I think that could be pretty high up there. I also love San Francisco as a city. Like, I love NorCal vibes. There's
not bad weather ever.
Yeah,
usually.
Look, we've talked about it here. If you can do shorts and like a hoodie or whatever, that's like
Perfect.
prime weather,
yeah.
and then you get a ton of that
year round, pretty much. Like, they get some heat waves every once in a while, but
and then you also got kind of like major city vibes too. If you're into that thing, there's easy. We can get out and hikes. There's great golf in the area. I think that honestly, San Francisco. The more I'm thinking about this, is kind of like the Bay Area might be it for me. From like a vibes and like opportunity to do stuff perspective,
there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's wine country there too.
You can
like
go hiking,
hiking, golf, wine.
Yeah, Golden
big
Gate
city
Bridge
stuff.
National Park has
national park stuff. Yeah,
the sequoias. Is it the sequoias? Is that out there? Right, the sequoia trees.
I don't know how close it is, but yeah, there is.
Yeah, Northern California. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might be it for me. Honestly.
Yeah, the only drawback to my pick is like obviously Key West not being very big. Like, there's not a lot of sporting options. And golf, like, I think there's like 2 courses within 20 minutes, if you're in Maine, Key West.
But like you said, I mean, it's got like just the elite, like low key beach.
Yeah,
town
I'm
vibe.
a beach town guy. Like, I just like, I'm not like, I don't particularly love the ocean. I don't like cityscapes. So, like, San Francisco, like name any city, I would kind of be out on.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like when I think of vacation, I'm like, I can wear swim trunks the entire week and no one's
Sure.
gonna judge me. That's kind of what I think.
That's a major key, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Like, if I never take my swim trunks off, is anybody going to judge me? And
Yeah.
the answer to that is no.
I think, gun to my head, got to hold me to an answer. I think I'm going to take Tahoe.
Yeah, I was going to say Tahoe would be, if I had to pick between your two, I would take
Just
Tahoe.
in like the day and a half that we got to actually explore the area, like there's so much more that we could still go see.
Like,
I think
spent 10 days here.
and it's I just love like small little mountain towns, like
yeah,
and there's so much of that around
I
it.
don't mind that.
Yeah, that's it for me. I think I'm going to go Tahoe.
Okay, good choice.
Thank you. You as well. All right, my question. We're going back to golf, and it's kind of funny because you mentioned some of the side games in your game earlier, and you may have seen this too. Shout out to Tyler, sent me an Instagram reel earlier, and it was about a golf bet between two guys. They decided to go close to the pin on a par 3. One guy hits it in the fringe. It's about 10 feet away. Other guy's on the green, 30-something feet away. What is the official stance on this podcast?
Whoever's on the green.
So that's the line for you?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is
when
hit
I
the
play
green?
in my money game on Fridays, like,
You have to be on the green.
and it happened on Friday. Like, I was 25 feet. We had a guy in the back fringe that was like 8 feet away.
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's yours." Like, I'm not on the green.
I think that's like kind of the default, right? Like it's same for long drive,
Unless
right?
you go just like closest to the pin and you say beforehand
Anywhere on the course,
does not have to be on the green. But I think most of the time if you tell someone like closest to the pin, it's a automatic like you have to be on the green.
Right. I think that's what people default to for sure.
Yeah.
Say like he brought up the argument about long drives. Like how many times have we been in a scramble and it's a long drive and like we're 30 yards ahead or whatever, but you're just in the rough or
To me, that's a lot different than the closest to the
I
pin.
think it's different too.
Because
it's a
like
different
longest
question.
drive is like doesn't matter. Like it's just
Yeah.
the long just like, in the long drive championship. It's not like who's the straightest and longest. As long as it's in the grid, which I would consider like if you keep it in the golf course, then it should count like for longest drive. I've always felt that way about longest drive.
I think so too. Because it's not that is like what's the good drive or the best drive, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's the
But think about it. There's so many holes you'd rather be 30 yards closer than in the fairway. Who cares?
100%. Like
Yeah.
almost
Almost
every time.
Yeah.
I would rather be closer than in the fairway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so funny. Like you get in those scrambles, and like how many times we've been like 2 feet off the fairway? And it's like we're 30 yards in front of the longest drive. Like this is stupid.
Yep.
Like it's not like I beat him by a foot. I beat him by 30 yards, and it's like, well, I'm not in the fairway. That's dumb.
Yeah, I'm kind of willing to listen to the closest to the pin argument, but I do think the default is on the green.
Yeah, I've never played it where it didn't need to be on the green.
Yeah,
like it just opens Pandora's box. Like,
I agree. I could see like fringe counting, sorta. I don't know. I think it's just the phrasing of closest to the pin, right? Because it's same for longest drive, right? Like okay, but we have like this built-in qualifier in our brains that like it needs to be on the green.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you would have to say it before you did it. Like, hey, it does not have to be on the green.
Okay, to me, it's like but the thing is like, when you think longest drive, we just talked about like whatever the longest drive is, close to the pin, whatever the closest to the pin is, right? That's the argument.
Yeah, I get it. I've never done either.
No.
Either, differently, but
the automatic assumption for close to the pin is always that it needs to be on the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason I think that is too is like, okay, you're gonna walk off a ball that's like you're gonna have to like walk up a hill to get to the green and
sure,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like I think it was 8 paces. It's like it's a lot easier to walk a flat putting surface and like walk it off than like walk up a big ridge to get onto the green. It's like, oh, I'm 8 paces. How many? Oh, you're 9. But it's like, okay, when you're walking up a hill, you're naturally going to take longer paces, right? So it's like there's it opens a lot of gray area.
That's
I
true
think.
too. I mean, I think it would have to be like within reason kind of thing, you know. Like I said, I get the fringe
Like you're not winning
argument.
the closest to the pin if you're in the bunker,
No,
like
yeah,
short-sided. Like, and I'm 35 feet on the green. Like that's
correct.
Even though you might be closer, that's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance you don't even put that shot onto the green from from the bunker. So
exactly.
So okay, does that roll? Like, do you roll the money or roll the bet?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if nobody hits the green, I mean.
Yeah, the next hole is always going to be worth. You know, the next par 3 is always going to be worth double.
Okay.
Because we had like 2 weeks ago, all of us kind of barely missed the green on the first 3, and then our last par 3 was worth all 4.
Yeah.
Which is always fun. Doesn't happen often.
Then you just, if no one hits any of the greens, you just go
it goes into the
right
skin
in the skin spot.
Yeah.
I think that's our official stance on this podcast.
Yeah.
Closest to the pin has to be on the green.
Got to.
If nobody hits the green, you roll the money.
Because the rollovers are electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just for that reason alone, I think, the guy that hit it to 30 feet wins that bet.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right. We had good consensus there. I like that. And now we're out of here.
Yeah.
I truly feel like the Masters, even though we've talked about it a bunch, it feels like it snuck up on us.
Yeah, I mean, we had to think we were getting somewhat close with being at 50 episodes, but it did sneak up on us.
Next week will be our first Masters preview.
Yeah,
Technically our second. The first aired Masters
preview. The lost
preview.
episode at some point needs to just get released so everybody can laugh at it.
Maybe we'll have to one day. Maybe we'll post a clip of it just with the metronome in the background.
You're gonna want to kill yourself after listening to like 3 minutes of it because of the metronome.
Yeah. Or just like I'm sure if you went back and listened to the first episode, we still sound like we don't. I mean, I don't know if we sound like we're doing what we're doing now, but like it's got to be weird.
The thing has gotten better.
Yeah, I would hope so. After 50 of them. So, all right. Thank you for listening. Next week we're going all in on the Masters. Should be great. Maybe we can cook up something fun.
Maybe we bring some content from the lost episode.
Maybe
It never got released.
Yeah, maybe we should go back, listen to our takes, and see if we still subscribe to them or if we want to kill those takes.
I tell you, there's a lot of hills that I'll die on. So
I
don't back away from my opinions.
No, I said in our group chat, like, it's going to take us so long to find your dead body when you finally die on one of your hills because there's just hundreds of hills to look through. It's going to take us so long.
I look like an Indian burial site, man. It's like which hill is he on?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. Is he on the Purdue Sucks hill? Is he on the Wyndham Clark is overrated hill? Where's he at?
Oh God, yeah. Is he on the Hitch Driver on One Red hill? I don't.
Yeah. I might be permanently stuck on that hill.
That's probably the one you're going to die on, if we had to say.
Yeah, I'm going to take that to my grave.
We'll see. We'll see this summer. We'll find out. All right. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show. Follow us on social media at Back9Sixpack, and we will see you next week for the Masters. Cheers.
We'll see you. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Sixpack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Sixpack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.